G'day, Diesel and Anita here from Getting Around Oz Camper Trailer Travelling, and thanks for joining us. So firstly, I apologise for the delay on this one. So unfortunately we were set to do this video for you, and we had a weekend of bad storms. Then Anita got COVID, and then I got COVID, and the kids got COVID, and suddenly we had a couple of weeks we were out, and this last week we've actually just moved into our new house, hence where we are now. Today we've got a Q&A on our big lap for you. About a few weeks ago we put a post up on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, and just thought we'd throw it out and see if you guys had any questions with regards to our big lap. We actually got a few, so let's get into it. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and again chuck in any comments and feedback in there. And again, if there's any questions you guys want answered that you didn't have the chance to or forgot to ask before, as many of you have done before, just jump on the socials and flick a question there, and I'll get back to you. Anyway, we'll get into it. So we'll start off with Facebook questions. The first one.
Sorry. Oakley, heel. Good girl. Oh, gosh.
All right, so we'll jump in the Facebook questions here. We've got our first question from Angie Stokey, who's followed us for quite some time. So what was your budget and how'd you go with it?
So our budget, we listened to Trip in Advan, and they said $1,000 a week. Now I'm guessing when they did their trip and that calculation came out, either they're a lot thriftier than us, or it was probably pre-COVID times, before caravan park prices jumped up dramatically. And
yep.
Yeah,
with the borders opening up and all that sort of stuff, demand at caravan parks is pretty high, and consequently all the pricing was a bit higher than it would normally have been.
Yeah, so look, how much did we actually spend? I mean, we did a fair bit of activities, and I guess we didn't free camp as much as we probably thought we would have, just for the kids, so they had other kids to play with. And yeah,
we definitely wanted to make sure the kids got treated as much. We we definitely spent more than we needed to.
Yeah,
that's for sure. There's definitely a cheaper way of doing it, but we chose to stay at caravan parks a fair decent amount of the time, literally because we just wanted somewhere the kids could play. You know, there's a jumping pillow and other kids to play with, and a pool and all those types of things. So
yeah, so probably around 1,500 a week.
Yep.
If you were to average it out. But again, that was pre-Ukraine war and petrol prices going up. Yeah.
Does that also include all the events?
Yeah.
All the experiences and everything as well?
Yeah, that would be everything. So alcohol and food and petrol and experiences. It
would definitely cost more than that now for us, given the petrol prices. For example, the highest petrol price we had anywhere was $1.50, and that was in the middle of Australia, middle of nowhere. $1.50, $1.70, yeah, maybe I think it three ways.
Yeah. And
near the NT Queensland border. But now, you know, $1.50 or $1.70 is a cheap weekday price in a city.
In Perth, I'd be stoked if I got that for diesel right now.
So I think, you would be starting at $2 a litre out there anywhere. So yeah, it would definitely cost us more, that's for sure. But there you go. Okay. So we got one here from, sorry, I try and say this correctly, Henriette Vanahever. If you had to plan your big lap now, would you still do it in a Robbo, and why? So for those who don't know, obviously we did ours in Robson camper trailer. Would you still do it in a Robbo?
100%.
Yep.
We even looked at upgrading recently.
We did, yeah.
But the Robson's just got everything that we want.
Yeah. It's just perfect for us. We did have a look at caravans and camper trailers. We had a good look at quite a few actually. We start off with budget. Basically, we started at $20,000, and what we could get for a caravan. Like, basically, the first thing we said to each other in the caravans was, "It just feels like it's inside. It just feels too cramped inside, and we just want to be outdoorsy and have a feeling of being outside." So that made the decision pretty easy for us. The Robson's got everything we need in it. We could go anywhere with it. It had everything we needed as well, and setup wise as well, it's probably perfect for us. So absolutely, we'd do it in a robo for sure.
Yep.
Another question here from Paul Kruger: How much the whole trip cost you in fuel and food? Fairly sure we covered it off before, but again, we didn't pay a lot of attention either.
No, we started recording it at the beginning of the trip, but then, I just wanted to enjoy the trip. And when we got back from the trip, the last thing I wanted to do was sit there and go through how much we spent. We, again, I think if you budget probably about $2,000 a week now, you would comfortably be able to do everything you want to do.
Yep.
Comfortably. You could do it for less, but yeah.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so on to Instagram questions now. First one is Rigby Joseph. We're about to buy our first camper. Any advice for us travelling with a baby? And what made you choose yours?
Okay. Well, we covered a bit of that in the last question, but for us, cooking outside was an essential thing. Having the 6 beds so that if the kids were annoying each other, they could separate. If Dion's had a few too many drinks and got his snore on, I could separate. Having somewhere indoor to be able to sit and eat if it was raining, or for the kids to play. They were our main criteria, weren't they? Cooking outside, the 6 beds. Oh, we also wanted the lighter weight, so better on fuel economy, lower, again for wind resistance. Yeah,
so we had limitations in regards to what we could tow with our Pajero. We haven't done a GVM upgrade and that sort of stuff. So 2.5 tonne was our max, and the camper did that as well. The other thing was camper trailers versus caravans is the payload.
Yeah.
Remember that? Obviously we looked at around 20 grand was pop top campers, and basically you can only load basically a couple of 100 kilos with the storage. Once you feel like your water tanks are pretty much there, but with the camper trailer, it actually has a tear of 1.5. I think it's just under 1.5. So we could actually load up everything we wanted, fill up the water tanks, and have heaps of room. Other thing that made us choose that was we wanted something that was easy to open, easy to set up. There's nothing worse than driving all day to get to somewhere and suddenly you have to spend a couple of hours bucking around with setups. The Robson, we can basically do it in 15 minutes, so nice and easy there. Yep. Okay, so we've got a few here from Trip and Oz. So when would be the best time to leave to do a lap of Australia to chase the sun the whole way around? Well, that's the dream. That's the dream, but...
Yeah, that's a bit of a tricky one because it depends where you're living and which way round you want to go. Obviously, being in Perth, we would leave as it's coming, March, I think we left, but we didn't do all of the bottom half. We kind of jumped across the middle so that we were up the top for summer.
Victoria was in lockdowns.
Well, our winter there,
And we've had people ask, should you do it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Which way is better? Honestly, it's a hard one to answer because it depends how long you're going to take. If you're doing a 3-month trip, you're doing a 6-month trip or a year trip, you could spend 6 months quite easily doing the top of WA, and suddenly by the time you finish WA, you could be coming into the wet season and build up in the territory, and that's not where you want to be.
So you go through the guts
consider
and
coming
come back down
through the
to the
guts
bottom.
and getting the summer in the southern part of Australia. So I don't know. I think work out how long you're going to take and then maybe work back from there.
Yeah, I would work out. That's what we did. We worked out how long we were going to go for. Then we, I guess, worked out what the weather would be once.
We took a bit of a punt as well, which was good and bad. We also got to see Queensland, and maybe the time of the year we wouldn't have got to see, but because it was raining a lot.
It was beautiful. I'm so glad we did go when we went.
The waterfalls and those types of things. We got told we're at some places that, they were just running it so much nicer than they were just a couple of months later.
Yeah.
What are 3 things you wish you'd got on the van, or I guess camper trailer? I think we spoke briefly about this before. We're pretty comfortable we got everything we needed, to be honest. If there's any advice when you're trying to work out what you need, do some trips beforehand. I think it was probably on our 4th trip we did. We actually went, yep, we're comfortable now, and each time waking up, each trip we worked out, don't need that, we need a bit of this, or yeah, let's get rid of all that, that crap we didn't actually bloody use. So
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't miss or need for anything. There was nothing I said, I wish we'd brought this, or... Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What does your car servicing? Who does your car servicing, and how much did it all cost? I just clarified that question with him, so I guess it was referring to servicing of your car. Anyone can do it. I guess it just depends on how many kilometres you're going to do. Car servicing, I guess, we did 30,000 Ks. We pretty much did a service before we left and one when we came back, and fortunately we didn't have any problems. So consideration financially would be have some money set aside for if something happens.
Yeah, we always had some money put aside just in case, something bad happened. His chair made noise right then. Should I say it again?
Yeah, go on.
We always had money put aside just in case something went wrong. Luckily, nothing did.
Yeah, other things would be servicing on your caravan or camper trailer. For us, we got it done before we went, but we had to get it done in the territory. Sorry?
The wheel alignment.
Yeah, we had a wheel alignment issue, which we got sorted in Darwin. But again, just be prepared if you any sort of repairs or things you're going to need, like tyres is maybe one of the main ones. Just be prepared to pay a little bit more, and just be prepared to wait, because it's just not you're on a bit of a schedule. You might pull up and hope you can get in somewhere, but yeah, you're just going to have to wait. And the other one was tyres. We got brand new tyres literally a couple of weeks before we left, so we didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's a good one. Here's a tough one for us. What are 5 spots you can't miss on a lap of Australia? Ooh. Could run off about 10 or 20 pretty easily, but if it was 5, what would you start with? I'll start with Cairns. Okay. When I say Cairns, right, I mean Cairns as a hub to base yourself, because you don't have to drive more than an hour and you can visit and experience some of the best waterfalls you'll ever see. There were so many waterfalls and places to see and do up there. So Cairns for me.
Carragini, definitely. You must do Carragini.
All right, so that's 2. Do you have a favourite Carragini?
Hancock Gorge.
Yeah, Hancock Gorge was one of the best experiences.
We didn't do them all though,
because
one of them was closed, and we didn't have enough time.
Yeah, another one we couldn't get to. So Carragini number 2, Lake Argyle would be one. I think we both enjoyed that.
Yep.
Amazing again. It was amazing in itself, but again, you don't have to drive very far, and you can see some ridiculous waterfalls around and that sort of stuff. I would also say...
My turn.
All right, you go.
Free camping on the bike.
Ooh, yeah,
I think I've said that a few times. That was on my bucket list.
Yep.
And it was amazing. I mean, the kids were a little bored, but it just was absolutely beautiful. And if you've got the time even just to spend a whole day there camping, just bring everything in at night time.
Yeah, the Bunda Cliffs, I don't know, there's probably there's 50 or 100 k's with a coastline there to pick different spots. You can actually go right on the top of the edge of the cliff, which we weren't real comfortable having kids. We stayed a little bit further up, but that'd be one. I'd say Ellie Beach. So that's 5. And Ellie Beach, and again you've got the Whitsundays right there. It's only a bike ride away, so happy with that?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so the next one is from Happening Empty Nesters. How's it been settling back into life at home?
After Maya. Keep going, sorry. Keep going.
Can't have that. There you go, top 6. Marky Maya.
As we talk, I'll come up with more. Like if it was summer, I'd say Margaret River, Esperance.
Top 5, moving on. Okay, from Happening Empty Nesters. How's it been settling back in a home after doing the big lap?
Yeah. It was strange going back to work, I won't lie.
Yep.
And trying to settle back into routine after watching every sunrise and every sunset. That was strange.
I guess the biggest change was not waking up to a ridiculous sunset in somewhere that was just amazing, and you're just thinking to yourself, how good is this? Every day you're just an amazing destination where you're just kicking yourself. That was a big one. Even for the kids, I guess it would be. They just thought, amazing sunrises and sunsets was just a way of life. It turned out we got home, it wasn't quite like that. So
having a shower with like all your toiletries there and not forgetting something and having to walk back to the caravan was quite nice. Because I did that a lot.
Lots of little life's luxuries, but Okay, all season adventurers, what is the hardest part about travelling with children? We both agree here. Patience. Taking the time to. We got young kids, right? So tantrums was a daily thing, and Hurley was. What was he about? He was 5.
Oh no, 4.
Hurley being the younger one. Tantrums were every day, both morning and night and throughout the day. Doing adventures, the kids were getting tired pretty quickly.
It's just long days.
Just understanding they're just kids. And they need time, to work through things. So, all right. So we're nearly at the finish line now. So I got one here from YouTube from your boy Jazz. When are we going to see a tinny on the setup? That was in reference to some inquiries I had made on some Facebook pages. It's a very good question. I definitely have looked at it and been inquiring, but it's not going to happen at the moment or for the foreseeable future. In the day, financially, we just can't afford it. And the other thing is, we have a boat here at home as well. I'm not ready to sell that and let it go, because I'd have to get rid of one to gain another.
It's a weight thing as well. Like, we're pretty good with our weight at the moment. I think if we put a tinny on, we'd have to drop something. I don't think you'd get the use out of it, to be honest, for where we go. Yeah,
so we went over a weighbridge on our way down to Margaret River early in the year, and we found out that we're within 100 k's of our max, which is we're pretty much right on our max. And again, I've had a look at weights of boats where it's 150, 250, those sort of things. Then you add an outboard, and for everything you put on, you've got to take something else off. And the truth is, like we said earlier, we'd had everything we needed.
And I wouldn't have left anything. No.
And most things we used. Only a couple of things that I took. I had one little bag of headphones and a few different little type of electronic things that I didn't need. But unfortunately, no tinny for the foreseeable future. We can't.
Maybe for some boys' trips or something.
Nothing at the moment, that's for sure. So. All right, so just realised we didn't cover off the question properly for Rigby Joseph. Any advice for us travelling with a baby?
For me, it would be having one bag, one backpack that stays in the car at all time, and you and your partner know where it is and it's easily accessible. And every morning you fill it up with new nappies and clean clothes, because a poo nummy is going to happen. And you need to know where it is. I had one, but Dion didn't realise that's what it was. So when we first packed up, I had it easily accessible, but then when he's packed up the next time, it's ended up in the middle of the boat, which is my fault for not telling him.
And then I bloody need and I couldn't find it.
I know, so you have to sit there and unpack everything in the side of the road while dealing with child and baby stuff. Yeah.
And I would say as well, most would do it anyway, but I think it's fairly underrated, is a good medical kit.
Yeah, yep.
I guess young kids and babies not the same thing, but one thing they do is they bloody hurt themselves all the time. With cuts and necks and bumps on the bloody skin, or their knees or arms, or what. Every day there was an injury, there was blood, from a cut or a fall, or a stack of some sort, if not themselves, or something happened. So I think that covers it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how a baby, I guess, would be different from us. Hurley
Yeah.
was still.
Yeah, sorry if we can't answer it, I guess, because we sort of forget what it's like sort of having having a baby. And so for us, it's more young
Just
kids.
timing as well.
That's right.
Yeah, be a bit flexible.
I think it's relative as well. Like, for us having young kids was be flexible. Try not to plan too much. Don't lock in too much, because as it is, the weather can change. You have bad weather. You get to somewhere you don't like, or something happens, and you change your mind. Be flexible. Things will change every day. Anyway, and that, let alone something happen to kids. The kids are playing up, and I've got the grizzles or whatever. Just be flexible, because it's likely something's going to happen, and you're going to have to change your plans.
Yeah, unless it's school holidays, I wouldn't be booking caravan parks ahead of time because it just changed so much, didn't it?
Yeah, and sleeping as well. There's plenty of noise going on, so keep that in mind. That's about it. Cool. There we go. Thank you for that. We enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful and useful to you. And we'll sign out from here. I'm Diesel.
I'm
Anita Reed. We're getting our nice camper trailer traveling. Thanks for watching.
See ya. Alright, I better go. You can help me load up my car, hey?
No, I'm busy. The feedback was
Hang on a second. Oakley! No! Take 20.
okay. That'll be it. You got something?
Number 7, Emma Gorge.
We're moving on. We keep doing this
What
all
about
day.
Zippity?
We keep doing this all day. Up a ton. We actually load up a ton. We actually load up four or five at the time.
Might have even been 3. Yeah, it was 3.
Was it?
Wasn't he?
No, it was 4.
No, it's
Right.
5 now.
Anyway.
You missed the babe. The baby question.